We're the first drug that actually repairs damage to the ocular surface. We call it a 1-week dry eye drug, and we really believe that that's the case. A brand new opportunity to affect the body in a way that hasn't been captured before.
Onyx Live is proudly sponsored by Humphrey's Law and Panacea.
My name is Schlumpf. I'm the president and CEO of Stuart Therapeutics. We're a pharmaceutical development company based in Stuart, Florida, and we're working on ophthalmology drugs.
Can you tell me more about your main therapeutics?
Sure. The company was founded around a platform technology that we branded as Polycol. It is a synthesized collagen mimetic peptide, and it is a mimic of a fractional strand of helical collagen. The benefit of this in tissues is that it is a very rapid and very effective reparative to inflammation-damaged tissues, and it reverses that inflammation through cell signaling changes. When you think about the eye and the various indications in the eye that we focus in on, topical application to the ocular surface like dry eye disease or corneal wounds is a natural place for us to be. We have a working relationship with glaukos on neuroprotection and glaucoma, affecting the optic nerve and the damage to the optic nerve that comes from glaucoma. And then we have preclinical research with some very exciting results in myopia and in inherited retinal diseases. So it's very broadly applicable. It appears to be very rapidly effective, and it is a new drug class. So we have a lot of things to be excited about in the company.
Absolutely. So I suffer from dry eye disease myself, actually, and it's a frustrating disease.
Yes, it is.
Very little available besides lubricating drops.
That's right.
For example.
Right.
So in terms of your therapeutic modality, can you explain perhaps for patients who are watching this, what does it offer that current treatment doesn't?
Yeah, so basically your choices for treatment in dry eye disease are topical drops if you're not too serious. It could be anti-inflammatories that are very slow acting, weeks before they're effective, or it could be drugs that stimulate the tear production, which are irritating or uncomfortable or challenging to use. We're the first drug that actually repairs damage to the ocular surface. So when dry eye disease kicks in, you have an inflammatory response. Inflammation in turn elevates matrix metalloproteinases, and those digest collagen in the cornea. And that collagen digestion has to be replaced. Collagen doesn't get repaired in the body normally, it gets replaced. And that cycle can be slow, and it's especially slow in older patients. So when we come in, we're repairing those damaged locations, we're restoring homeostatic cell signaling, and the effect for the patients is extremely rapid. Most drugs in dry eye disease take several weeks before you feel the effect of them. Ours is within a day, 2 days, 4 days, depending upon the severity of the patient. So they're seeing massive improvement in the damage to the ocular surface and the symptoms associated with dry eye in literally the first few doses. So it's a very exciting therapeutic. The reaction from the physician community has been fantastic, as well as that with the payers. And I think what patients can expect when they take the drug is something that will make them feel different and better within 24 to 48 hours.
Wow.
So we call it a 1-week dry eye drug, and we really believe that that's the case.
Wow. And so what was the method of administration?
It's a topical drop.
Topical drop?
Yeah,
okay.
Twice a day.
Okay. And what's your progress been like with the FDA?
Progress with the FDA has been good. We have agreement with FDA on the design of our phase 3B trial, which will be a 1-week trial with endpoints on day 2. So day 1 being the baseline day.
Wow.
So we're measuring staining improvement in the cornea, and we're measuring visual acuity, probably in the form of a symptom score on blurred vision on day 2.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
So are there any exciting milestones that investors can look forward to in the next 1 to 2 years?
Sure. We've got phase 3B trial later this year. We'll be running our phase 1/2A in corneal wound healing. We're looking for a broad label for the same compound dosed 4 times a day for more serious corneal wounds like ulcers, corneal abrasions, that type of thing. So we're going to be beginning work on that. We think it's a nice complement to the results that we saw in the phase 3A on dry eye.
And how has your JPM week been so far? What conversations have you been having?
We've initiated a process to identify partners for the company, and we're having communication with some of those interested parties this week. The reaction and the reception has been very good. It's the most highly differentiated ocular surface therapeutic there is right now, and therefore we always have a full dance card. We've got a lot of people to talk to. So we'll see how that process unfolds, but we're quite excited about it.
I'd say after oncology, ophthalmology is one of the specialties where there's always been a lot of interest.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Well, it's an isolated organ, right? It's easy. There are some benefits to doing a trial in ophthalmology that you don't get when you're looking at something that's a more systematically delivered drug. It's easier to run certain types of trials, and the expense can be a little bit lower. So development costs can be in the $50 to $80 million range as opposed to the $100 to $150 million range if you carry it all the way out to commercialization. So I think that's one piece of it. I think the other piece of it is that there are a lot of indications in ophthalmology that are blinding indications. And I think that, as an example, in our company, each one of the executives either has or knows someone that's been touched by one of these blinding indications. And it's a real motivator when you're thinking about development, because as mercenary as we all become when we get into drug development, I think there's a tremendous satisfaction in being associated with something that's really going to help people get relief from something that's a chronic, painful indication, or to help them recover from or prevent damage to their sight.
And what was your career background prior to being CEO of Stuart Therapeutics?
Nothing to do with pharmaceuticals. I've been a startup and early stage company guy most of my life. Before I came out to do Stuart, I was running pathology laboratory business in Southern California, and I've been a management consultant. I've been an executive in other industries all my life. So it was the new thing for me to try later in life, and it's been a thrill to do it.
Fantastic. And finally, what is your message for investors this week?
I think we're really hitting our stride with a new drug compound, class of drugs that is very, very rapidly effective, has applicability in ophthalmology and beyond. And I think that folks should look at this as a brand new opportunity to affect the body in a way that hasn't been captured before.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Great to see you.
I really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Yeah.